It's Saturday, Holy Week. Holy Saturday, I suppose, in some places. I got a call from my sister last night actually. She was telling me about how her pastor at her church in Chicago was doing these fireside chats. And they got a big parlor in the church. Unfortunately, the fireplace that's in the parlor at the church doesn't work, so you can't actually have a fire in there, but he's still calling it a fireside chat. I guess you could call this my fireside chat. As you can see, we're still working on the It's a Zoo puzzle. It's a bit of a zoo. For Lynn and I mean, we haven't sat down for hours at a time, but, we still got time. But we're making our way, It's been a bit of a metaphor, actually, for this journey that we've been on with this pandemic. Some things we're figuring out. You can tell maybe that we got the borders, got a little bit of the sky. We got a lot of work yet to do. And I suppose you could say that there's more work yet to do, and we don't have it all figured out. And well, these are just puzzling times, aren't they? I mean, it might even be just like the title of this puzzle, that it's a zoo. And you think about that, the metaphor can go a long ways. How it was that Noah was in the ark with his family, however it is that you understand that story in Genesis, and they were a little bit like caged animals. Well, there were caged animals, and then there was his family. We got a little bit of that feeling going on in our own lives these days with social distancing and stay at home. I'm not sure everybody realizes it when you think about it. We always hear about the 40 days and nights of the flood and everything. And while that seems like an awful long time, we wouldn't wish it on anybody. Actually, I think if you do the math in Genesis, they're on the ark. They're stationing in place, floating, so to speak, for just about a year. Let's not carry the metaphor too far, eh? Let's, maybe something will happen by May 1st, but who knows? Certainly don't want to be experiencing this stay-at-home order for a whole year. I've been to the zoo, and because of these couple of medical mission trips I took to Tanzania, we have had, and I've had the occasion to actually do a couple of safaris as well at the end of these trips, and you get a whole new appreciation of how it is that animals run free. And not to take anything away from zookeepers and the enjoyment that families can have at zoos, but if you've been on a safari and you see animals in the wild, you say, yeah, that's how it ought to be. You think about that for ourselves. Here we are in our homes most of the time, working from home, not getting out much, can't go places. And you know that's not the way that it should be. And you know, one more thing about that story, Noah and the ark. You can pretty much be assured that when they stepped foot off of that ark onto dry land, a lot of the landscape of their life was different, changed. I would suspect that Noah and his wife and their 3 sons, they got altered as a result of that experience. I'm pretty sure that it was for good. And I guess, you know, as we find ourselves still riding the wave of this pandemic, there's going to come a time, hopefully sooner than later, but it's going to come when it's going to come, that we get to step off the boat. And hopefully we step off the boat altered and changed. That this isn't just wasted time that we go through with this coronavirus. With all the other aspects of it that we wish wouldn't happen, the loss of life and the sickness and the economics of it all, a lot of bad stuff. But what we hope and pray is that when we get off the boat, when it comes to a close, we'll be grateful for that. That we assess, take note of, become aware of how it's changed us. There is that promise of Paul that maybe we should continue to keep in mind that all things work together for good to those that love the Lord and who are called according to his purpose. May that be the case for us. So, our fireside chat. Stay safe, stay healthy, stay praying, stay faithful, my friends. And fear not the future. Fear not tomorrow. God's already there.